It's center, number 61. Correct me if I'm pronouncing it wrong.
Brett Balabin.
In right guard, number 58, Jason Rice. In right tackle, number 76, Mike Rutherford. There goes the fireworks off in the background. In right end, number 83, Tom Torrey. In left halfback, number 25, Terry Stokes. In right halfback, number 12, Billy Pugh. And in fullback, number 45, Justin Spence. I don't see the quarterback's name on here anywhere.
And the quarterback is Craig Richardson. I told you we'd have a show tonight. This place gets a little bit crazy. And as the North Catholic Trojans come out tonight, they went over, they touched the sign, and it kind of got the Falcons fans infuriated. This is not a place, and I've told people this before, that sleeping dog lies, because when the Falcons get excited, things become a little bit crazy and hectic.
It was an interesting story here. Richard Shaw not in the starting lineup on his program last week. A kid that wasn't on the program ended up kicking a game-winning field goal, Sean Ting for Uniontown. On defense for the Falcons, at left end, number 88, Jesse Kramer. Jason Rice at left tackle.
Jason Rice is the key down there. Him and Patrick Kelly are the two keys defensively on the line.
At nose guard, Pat Kelly. Number 66, Matt King at right tackle. And Torrey is going to be the right end. At middle linebacker, was that Krause last year at middle linebacker?
No, last year was Justin Delarose was the middle linebacker. He's taking his act to Youngstown State, so the heir apparent is Justin Spence.
A very good linebacking core last year, Krause and Delarose.
And I'm going to tell you what, this kid right here, Brandon Smith, is a young junior, played a lot last year as a sophomore. He's a headhunter.
Smith, the right linebacker, number 80. Terry Stokes, number 25, strong safety. Cash out at free safety. A cornerback, number 19, Brian Heaver. And on the other corner, number 12, Billy Pugh.
Brian Heaver playing football for the first time since his sophomore year, so there's going to be some inexperience in the defense secondary there, but Cash and Billy Pugh both played a lot last year. Seth DeRazio will do the kick, and he's a soccer player. He came a long way last year. He could be a key. Don't be afraid to see him try a field goal later on in the year.
Okay, handling a punting tonight, should the Falcons need it, will be number 80, Brandon Smith.
Yeah, so a couple keys there, and I told you this
pumped up. The cheerleaders are pumped up.
Get a better evening.
The Brownsville Falcons pumped up.
We can't ask for a better evening.
And look at there, we have whistles on the kickoff.
Right off the bat, and we're going to get offsides on North Catholic. The Trojans a little bit fired up coming up here. They took the hour-and-a-half trip from the North Hills of Pittsburgh. I believe this may be the first time that they've actually come into Redstone Field to play. And they look like a lot like the Iowa State Cyclones down there with the red pants, gold helmets, and the white tops. One day we're going to get where them numbers really match them white uniforms. You're going to be able to pick them up really good. But I tell you what, we had a great night last week, perfect weather. This cannot get any better than this evening.
Not a cloud in the sky. I'd probably say it's about 65, 64 degrees right now. Field is in great shape. We'll talk about that a little bit more later. Fans seem that they're pumped.
Oh, they've been waiting. I mean, last week was like, they talk about people being addicted. Last week, there was people just did not know what to do with themselves last Friday night. Wait till next Friday when you just got to try to contain me when we're doing Albert Gallatin and Connellsville, and I'm trying to figure out what these guys are doing. So the kick is going to come down, and they're going to kick it to Jason Cash. Cash will pick it up at the 20. Jason trying to get to the corner, getting it upside to the 22. Jason will come to the 24-yard line, and that is where Brownsville will start first down and 10 from their own 24. Getting off the bottom of the bottom of the pile for North Catholic, number, I believe that's 56, and that was Brandon Deasy. So Craig Richard's first snap as the varsity quarterback here at Brownsville, kind of like Carl Farrell last week, got to be the butterflies rolling. So they will have it first down at 10, and they'll have it at the Brownsville 24. Power eye to the left. They give it off inside to Billy Pugh. Billy gets about a yard. He'll come up to about the 27-yard line.
See if we can get you some numbers up front for North Catholic.
Making a stop for North Catholic was Matt Limmer, number 45. Ted Sweeney's at one of the defensive ends. Looks like number 64, and that would be Dave Britt at one side.
And number 77, Dan Lutz, looks like he's in the middle line.
Number 2 out here on the corner, and we don't even have his name on the program, so.
Another faulty program, Joe.
So he's going to be. Full house backfield. Stokes goes in motion, and they're going to pass it to Richard. He throws it out to Billy Pugh. Pugh's to the 30. Billy Pugh will have a Falcon first down up to the Brownsville 35. And a good start right there. Nice little design play. Caught him in the flats.
Nice block out. I think it was Stokes out there give him a good enough block to where it managed to get the first down. So first pass for Richard Shore, completion.
Nice pass protection by Brownsville's offensive line, and that young offensive line of is going to have to come together. Bobby Shumore, Pat Kelly, Brad Balaban, Jason Rice, Mike Rutherford, and Tom Torrey. Patrick Kelly last year was a fullback, so they've had to move some people around. Run and shoot type look. Give it to the big boy Spence and Justin to the 40 to the 42. And there's something that they wanted to go to this year because of Craig being able to throw the ball, splitting wide receivers out and going with a little one-back set.
I think Justin Spence, he was a valuable part of last year's team, but he kind of got lost maybe in a shuffle with all the other skill people and all the other quality performers. This year, you're probably going to hear a lot more about Justin Spence.
Brownsville with the one-back set that time. Justin gets about 7, and we have whistles. And we have an official's timeout. So Browns will start his drive at their own 24. They've got it up to their 42. We have a new scoreboard installed this year.
Very nice facilities, Joe. I must admit I'm impressed.
That is my man over there, Mr. Verbanik. He does the job down there, and he's done a great job keeping the field out here. And he's telling nobody, don't let him know. So it'll be first, second down. They give it inside. That's Justin Spence again. And Justin looks like he has another Brownsville first down. Making a stop for the North Catholic Trojans, Dave Nabar, and it'll be a first down and 10 for Brownsville, so a good start there. 2 quick first downs for the Falcon offense.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to do, not have them played last week, come out and not go 3 downs and out, and they look like they didn't miss last week's game at all.
First down and 10, take it at the Brownsville 45. Brett Balaban comes out over the ball, and it's first down and 10. Full house backfield, and they give it inside. Terry Stokes spins off of one man, and Terry gets up to the 50. Give Terry Stokes a pick up of 5. Terry Stokes last year, 1 varsity touchdown. He had a 46-yarder against South Allegheny as a sophomore. So
that was a game where a lot of people scored in often.
Yeah, there was a lot of people in that one got some touchdowns. So Terry Stokes with 5, make it second down and 5. Brownsville has got it up close to the midfield line. That offensive line so far so good. Full house backfield for Craig Richard. North Catholic got a lot of people coming. They're going to keep it on the option. And they pitch it to Pugh. 45, 40, 35. Billy's inside the 30 to the 28. And it's another Falcon first down. Nice job running the option.
Excellent snag by Billy Pugh there. It looked like that throw was behind him. He reached back on one hand and pulled it in. Very good job. That did result in a turnover, and nice run by Pugh.
Good ball fake inside because North Catholic bid on the dive. And Craig Richard coming down the line. Options it to Billy Pugh. And Brownsville's got it to the 28 of North Catholic. So a great, impressive opening drive for the Brownsville Falcons. How many yards? 22. So a 22-yard pickup for Billy Pugh. Brownsville has it at the North Catholic Trojan 28-yard line with a first down and 10. So a great start. Power eye to the left. Motion by Stokes out of the formation. And they give it to Billy Pugh. And Billy's going to be wrapped up in the backfield by a host of North Catholic Trojan tacklers. Making the stop was Bob Ryan, number 83. Make a loss of 3, so to bring up second down and 13 for Brownsville. Back now at their own 31. Billy looked like he wanted to try to bounce it to the corner and give North Catholic a good job. Nice job there of pursuing.
That was one of the few times this series so far that there hasn't been a hole or protection.
So it brings up second down. They'll have it at the 31-yard line. Stokes comes to the left, Cash to the right. I formation behind quarterback Craig Richard. 3-step drop, fires it out. Cash can't hold on. Pass was a little bit behind Jason Cash. So it brings up third down, and Brownsville faced with their first tough situation of the night.
First, third and long, we talked about that last week. These are situations you want to stay out of, I guess, any time, but especially when you have maybe a quarterback in there and a team that doesn't have that much experience. You want to stay out of the second and longs, the third and longs.
Brownsville ran a little stop there as Cash had hooked up at about 5 yards downfield, couldn't hold on. So it brings up third down. Once again, Stokes to the left and Billy Pugh to the right. Richard Char to roll. He's looking screen. And Billy Pugh's got it at the 30. 25, 20, 15, down to the 10. Nicely done with the screen pass.
Very nicely set up, and then Pugh, with a defender in pursuit, past the line of scrimmage, avoided the tackle. Another nice call by Bart on that play.
Couple really nice, as we said, nice sequence of plays here by Brownsville. That was set up really well. So the Falcons will have it. They'll be able to get a first down inside there at inside the North Catholic 1-yard line. They've got it out at the North Catholic 11 now, and they're looking to punch one in early. Nice time-consuming drive as we turn in on 8:14 left scoreless, but Brownsville threatening. And they give it inside to Justin Spence, and Spence takes it inside the North Catholic 10 to the Trojan 7.
I think so far, Bart's got to be smiling over on a sideline, probably wondering what his team was going to come out and do this week. If they were going to be flat, rusty, anxious, but so far it looks like the Brownsville team of a year ago.
So far, so good for Brownsville. They've reached the North Catholic, we'll call it 6. Give Justin a pickup of 5. A very good opening drive for the Brownsville Falcons. Everything has been positive but one play, and they were able to get that back on the next one. I formation with Billy Pugh dotting. And Richard Char gives it to Billy Pugh, and he turns it up inside, fights forward to about the 3-yard line. Some tough running inside for Billy Pugh.
Yeah, there was a couple of hard-fought whole yards there, excuse me. That's an interesting call. You have a 3rd and about 4, and you're near the goal line. Maybe see another delayed screen here, maybe?
Something there. I'm looking for maybe option here because they were looking to set it up. Billy Pugh, a 5'10", 160-pound junior. If Billy's 160 pounds, I'm a swelt 135 right now. So it brings up 3rd down. We'll call it about 3. Option coming. Rechichar cuts it up inside. Touchdown! And the Falcons lead 6-0. Nice job on the option by Craig Rechichar.
A nice call by you also, Joe. Rechichar had the option there. I think they either held on to it or pitch it back to Pugh, but there was no reason to pitch it back. There was nobody between him and the end zone.
And if you're talking about a confidence booster, that drive covering 76 yards, and they just chewed the North Catholic Trojans up.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
So Brownsville extra point will be by Seth DeRazio.
I believe it was 11 plays.
11 plays, 76 yards, and Chris Zivkovich to do the holding. 2 for 3 for Craig Rechichar, and then the touchdown run. Snap is down. DeRazio's extra point is up. It is good. So it's 6:54 left here in the first quarter. Brownsville jumps out 7-0 on the North Catholic Trojans. And hey, Coach Bert Talamucci could not ask for anything better than that drive to start it.
No, you said there's some inexperience up there, and also with the new quarterback. But they marched right down the field on this Catholic team, and they probably have to be a little bit disheartened right now.
Yeah, some of the changes up front. Patrick Kelly last year was a fullback. He's at the guard, and Brett Balaban starting as Mike Pinardi graduated. Maybe one of the biggest unsung heroes last year for that team, Mike Pinardi at center. He couldn't have weighed more than about 160 pounds, and he did everything Coach Bart asked of him. So now Seth DeRazio will kick it off, going back deep for the North Catholic Trojans, number 24, and that's Sal Severon. And it's hard to see who's on the left side over there, and I believe that may be Ted Sweeney on that left side over there. So an impressive start, 6:54 left first quarter. And I keep looking to my right down here because I'm so used to the scoreboard being down there, and they've moved it. So DeRazio puts it in play. This will be a line drive. It's going to hit once, picked up by, we'll call him Brian Williams, and Williams is going to turn it up inside to the 27-yard line. We don't have his name, so I guess we're going to have to make one up for him.
You know what impressed me too, this is probably something little, but I think it was DeRazio on the extra point. He booted the extra point.
Seth's got a strong leg. It's just getting his technique down because he's a soccer player, and he did tell me last year when they first started with him that it's different kicking a soccer ball than a football.
I'm sure that helps the coach make a decision where maybe if he needs a 20, 25-yard field goal at the end of the game, he has confidence in putting his kicker in when he sees that.
So Ian Heisel will get him out and get him set. Receivers to both sides in an offset eye backfield for the North Catholic Trojans. Long snap count here. And they're going to run a little counter, and Terry Stokes is going to come up and make the stop. There's a flag right in the middle of the field. On the carry for North Catholic, number 24, Sal Severich. Severich? I believe
we don't have an official pronunciation.
We'll call it Severon. We're going to go with Sal Severon. The flag looks like it's going to go to against the North Catholic Trojans. And that's going to back North Catholic up. Terry Stokes coming up from his corner position to make the stop. He's another young man. He's only a junior. Young man, very small, but I'll tell you what, he spent a lot of time in the weight room in the off season too. So Brownsville's going to take the penalty, move them back inside the North Catholic 15-yard line. So it's going to end up being a big
penalty, like a 13-yard penalty. So we're going to be looking at about a 1st and 23 here.
So first down, 23, North Catholic at their own 15-yard line. Jason Kramer, Jason Rice, Patrick Kelly, and Matt King down in the down lineman position. Spence and Brandon Smith at the backers. Torrey on the outside right now. And all kind of motion. There's a flag there. Turn it up inside. Not a lot doing there. Tom Torrey coming over to make the stop, along with, I believe, Terry Stokes and Brandon Smith.
Procedure call. Joe.
So North Catholic right now is shooting herself in the foot. Brandon Smith making a stop along with Terry Stokes, as we said. This is going to be a legal motion, and Brownsville may decline this one to take the down. You know, you try to tell kids, and I know you hear football coaches, that when you do that, just go in motion. So it'll be second down, give it a pickup of about, we'll call it 2.
Yeah, it looks to be about 2 yards.
So it'll bring up 2nd and 21 for the North Catholic Trojans. Dave Nabauer comes wide to the right, slot to the left, offset in the backfield. Severone at the eye. Hazel is going to make his first pass attempt. Underneath, ball's dropped.
That was number 45, Matt Limmer.
Matt Limmer.
The pass was there.
I believe Brian Heber on the coverage here. So it brings up third down. Pass was on the numbers. Limmer could not hold on. And so North Catholic faced with a huge third down like Brownsville was. Brownsville was able to convert their 3rd and long. We'll see if North Catholic can convert theirs.
I'm sure not the way Coach Denny Fedigan envisioned this drive starting out, the holding penalty and then a procedure and then a drop pass.
Last year when they went up to North Catholic in the first quarter really played evenly with Brownsville. It was a 0-0 ball game. North Catholic drove the length of the field, missed the field goal. Brownsville went 98 yards, and then Katie barred the door. Slot to the left, flanker to the right. Heisel's going to pass. He's going down in the backfield. Great coverage by the Brownsville defense. And the sack was recorded by Jason Kramer, a junior. And so the Brownsville Falcon defense is impressive as the Brownsville offense.
Exactly. They were equally impressive as the offense. With a little help from a couple of misfirings by the North Catholic offense with the penalties. This is going to be
it's going to bring Pugh and Jason Cash going back deep, stand at about their own 50, North Catholic 46. Ted Sweeney will punt for North Catholic. Good snap. It's a good punt. This is going to drive Jason back to about the 46-yard line. 50, 45, 40, 35, 30. Jason Cash to the North Catholic 25. And you know what? They threw the flag after Jason Cash had broke the run.
Yeah, he did look like he was past the play where the flag was thrown.
It looked like a clip because I thought he was going to throw it sooner and the referee was over, and then when Jason broke it, it seemed they threw the flag then. So that'll put the Falcons back inside their own territory. So the first really big mistake by Brownsville. And Brownsville probably start at about their 38-yard line.
They're still going to set up shop here with real good field position.
So everything Coach Bart could have wanted here in the first 8 minutes of this football game.
Yeah, a perfect offensive drive by his team, 76 yards in 11 plays, and then a 3-and-out by the defense. So it doesn't look like not having that first game on a schedule last week has affected the team so far.
Now, they seem sharp right now. They really do. Maybe the extra week of practice where you got to really work on technique and fundamentals instead of actually having to prepare for a game that first week may have helped them.
You know the kids were hopping to get into this.
Billy Pugh wide to the right, Stokes to the left, and Spence is the one back behind quarterback Craig Richardson. They give it to Spence. Spence 45, drags tacklers to the Brownsville 48-yard line. Pickup of about 9 for Justin. But we'll bring up a second down and short.
Unofficially, we have Justin 4 carries for 25 yards.
Right now, Brownsville's running game clicking on all cylinders, and that is Don Bartolomucci football. You know, if we can run it, why put it in the air?
The thing I liked about their offense last year is they could pound you, and then they could break off a 90-yard pass.
Yeah, see, they had them kind of skilled people like we talked about Uniontown last week where they've got the kids that can go 70, 80 yards on you in one play, and that's a lethal weapon. Slot to the left, flanker to the right. And Billy Pugh goes back in motion toward the formation. Richardson in trouble, and he's going down. That was like a jailbreak coming through there that time.
Going to get an unnecessary rough. No, it wasn't a flag, excuse me. That was a referee's marker.
Ted Sweeney makes the stop. But that looked like a jailbreak error as everybody from North Catholic came clean. So third down and 11. There was a loss of about 8 on the play.
I like the call, though. I think that they were going to try and look deep on that play on a 2nd and 1. It's just North Catholic sent everybody that time.
North Catholic, the first drive, looked like they had all the backers up about 2-3 yards off the line of scrimmage. So a big play here. Third down and 11. Power eye to the right. North Catholic crowding the line of scrimmage. Richard Char to drop. Got good protection. Rolling. Throwing. Ball's intercepted. No drop. Broken up by Bob Ryan. They try to throw it underneath to Billy Pugh, and they'll have to punt it away. So this drive goes 3 and out, and the sack really took that drive away.
Yeah, that was a nice stand by North Catholic there after giving up the long drive to open the game.
That was, because North Catholic needed that. I don't think they could afford to let Brownsville go down and score again.
Now, you don't want to come into Brownsville with them pumped up the way they were and get down 2 scores early in a game.
Bobby Schumacher to do the punting. North Catholic going back deep is number 24, Sal Severone. And punt will hit at about, no, it won't hit anywhere. A good catch over there by a Brownsville player, and then we'll go out of bounds. So North Catholic will have it at the 45. So good field position this time for the Trojans.
But a 16-yard punt gives North Catholic, lets them set up shop in pretty good field position here. Actually, excellent field position.
So the North Catholic Trojans, last year a WPIL quarterfinalist. They were defeated by Shadyside Academy. They were also the conference runner-ups, where they were beaten in the last game of the year by the Shadyside Academy Indians. And I know the North Catholic people are probably waiting for that game down the line.
Brownsville leads this game 7-0 with 3:39 left in the first quarter.
First down and 10. North Catholic, they've got it at their own 45. Long snap count again. And they're going to run it. And Mason, one ball's on the turf. And let's see who got it. I believe North Catholic got it back. Making a stop for Brownsville was Jason Rice. There will be a loss of 3 on the play. The ball did come out that time.
It almost looked like North Catholic's running back handed it off to the Brownsville defender.
Yeah, he just slipped out of there. And I believe that was Severon that was on the carry. So another loss on the play. Second down 13 for the North Catholic Trojans. They have it back at their own 43. Severon wide to the right here. I-back formation, offset it. North Catholic wants to throw. They got a screen set, and that ball is caught and dropped. Justin Spence just unloaded.
Very nice play by Justin. I think he smelled that one all the way. They tried to set the screen up, and he was right there on the ball carrier and delivered a punishing hit.
North Catholic tried to set up the screen, and Justin Spence laid him out. And that will bring up third down. I believe the pass was intended for number 45, Matt Limmer, and Matt Limmer's coming over going, Coach.
He's going to remember that one tonight,
man,
Joe.
that one hurt. So a big third down play. Justin Spence, big play type linebacker. He has all the potential and skills. Receivers all over the place here for the North Catholic Trojans. One back. Heisel will drop. Rush is coming. He's going to roll. He's looking. Good coverage down here. That ball is incomplete, but great coverage by Terry Stokes and Brian Heaver.
Basically had a jump ball there, and throwing on a run was Heisel. No chance really there for the catch, and North Catholic hasn't had much to show for 2 possessions.
No, and they've got people spread out, and they're trying to throw the ball here. And Brownsville's secondary, very good job here on the first 2 series. And give Brownsville's defense some credit. They've been very impressive in their first 2 sets here.
Haven't allowed a first down yet.
Cash and Pugh back deep. Ted Sweeney to punt it away for NC.
This Ted Sweeney's Mr. Everything for North Catholic.
Right now it looks like he is. Good snap, flag down. Good punt. This is going to be a hard one to field. Great block by Jason Cash. Billy's going to fall on it, but a great block by Jason Cash down here.
I don't know if they're going to be doing this one over or not. We had flags drop back about the 36-yard line.
I will say this, when Brownsville gets the ball back, look for Coach Bart to put it on the ground here a little bit. And we're going to get a flag. False start on North Catholic.
They are going to be kicking this one again, Joe.
Coach Bart over there along with Coach Rhodes saying, let's take it back. And besides some new players this year, Coach Bart's got a few guys new on his coaching staff, and that takes a little bit of an adjustment period getting used to the kids. Coach Assett come from Bethel Park. He has, if I go down through the list here, it's going to take me a while. He has a few new ones.
Joe seems more informed to me tonight like he usually is. It's from the fact that he knows a lot of these guys. We're in his neck of the woods, aren't we, Joe?
This is home, baby. So the Brownsville Falcons will get it back. Billy Pugh and Jason Cash, another line drive. Billy's going to take it at the 35-40. If Billy gets to the corner, 50-45 inside North Catholic territory to the North Catholic 43. So that time, Billy Pugh picks up a return of about 25 yards, and Brownsville starts 1st and 10 at the North Catholic 43.
It's probably not to fault your punter, but that's one of the things you don't want to see him do is kick a line drive and out-kick his guys getting down the field.
We talk about another coach is John Stathers. He's the quarterback coach this year for the Brownsville Falcons. He replaces Coach Keys, who's now at Uniontown, and Coach Woods, who's now at Best Center. So Coach Bart with a few new faces. And in fact, the young lady that you see on the pregame that's crying, that is Coach Assett's daughter.
Going to be a movie star one day. She better start right here on HSTV.
And they give it to Spence, and Spence to the 40, inside to the 38. She didn't start crying until you changed her lines on her.
Yeah, she didn't like the script that we handed her, and that's when she started crying. But we'd like to thank the Brownsville cheerleaders especially for helping us out
and
with
that. And the two young kids. The other one's dad is a custodian in the Brownsville School District, and they are excited as always. I tell you, he started them young here.
So thanks again to the cheerleaders and the young children for helping us. This will be on the pregame and opening up the second half Monday night 6 o'clock.
Monday night at 6. Fake it to Spence, option coming down the line, give it to Pugh this time. North Catholic had a defense, but Billy makes one man miss.
Give credit to Billy that time for not taking a loss. He did a little sidestep there and got back, I think, close, maybe even got half a yard out of that, or a yard.
So 3rd down and 4 for the Brownsville Falcons. Inside the North Catholic 40 at the 37, an official timeout here. I thought when that came down the line they had set it up pretty good, but give North Catholic a lot of good credit there on a good job of defense in the option. Got a North Catholic player, I think he's looking for his mouthpiece down there.
Yeah, we have 1:12 left in the first quarter. Brownsville, on the strength of an 11-play, 76-yard opening drive, took a 7-0 lead, and that's where we stand right now.
So 3rd down, let's call it 4. Brownsville's got it at the North Catholic 38. Craig Richardchar will run the pitch to Billy Pugh. Pugh trying to get to the corner. Billy fights forward to about the 35.
I think he's going to wind up about a yard and a half short of the first down.
So it brings up 4th down and short for the Falcons at the North Catholic 35. 3rd down about 3 now. They backed it up to the 36.
That was Pugh's 5th carry, and I have him unofficially for 24 yards.
So Brownsville now faced with a 4th down. I told you the strong point here would be their defense because it's a little bit more experienced than the offense right now, and they have done the job.
I don't want to be critical of the officials, but it looked like a bad spot to me.
I thought he had it inside the 35. Richardchar to Spence, and I think Justin fights forward.
This is going to be
close.
This is going to be very close.
But from the way the North Catholic fans are responding down there, they think he may have come up short.
They just give it to Spence that time and tried to let him bull his way to the first down, which I think we're going to get a measurement and find out.
And from the way it looks now, it looks like Justin may be short of his first down. They are going to call a timeout for a measurement.
This would probably be a break stand if North Catholic did in fact hold here.
And I think they did. I think Brownsville's going to come up short. Stretch the change, and the Falcons are just short of their first down.
Looks like about 3 or 4 inches if my eyes are serving me correctly.
So you go back to the play before with the spot. If they gave him the spot we thought they had, Brownsville would have had a 1st and 10 inside North Catholic's 35. So after the impressive opening drive, Brownsville has gone 2 series now where they have not been able to put the ball in the end zone. They've been able to move it. They just have not been able to put it away here.
I'm sure Bart's pretty pleased so far about the offensive and the defensive performance this club has put forward.
I think it's a good first quarter for them. 22 seconds left, 7-0 Brownsville. North Catholic will have it 1st and 10. One back set. Receivers to both sides. Once again, a long snap count. They turn it up inside, and they got some room this time to about the 40. That's the first really positive play that North Catholic has had. Brian Heaver makes the stop. John Schabacher on the carry, and that could bring us to the end of the first quarter.
Who was on that carry?
That was Sean Bacher. So a pickup of 7. That brings us to the end of the first quarter on the Herald Standard Television Game of the Week. It's the Brownsville Falcons 7, the North Catholic Trojans nothing.
Selecting an attorney can be difficult. Did you know that there are almost 1 million attorneys in the United States? Did you know that a national board measures their experience and expertise? And that fewer than 2,200 achieve certification? Did you know that only 30 attorneys in the country were certified in both civil and criminal law? Did you know that 2 of them live and work right here? Meet James and Samuel Davis, the hometown professionals at Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law.
As we come back to Redstone Field in beautiful Republic, Pennsylvania, the Brownsville Falcons lead the North Catholic Trojans 7-0. But North Catholic now faced with a 2nd down and 3 to start the 2nd quarter.
Joe mentioned a very beautiful evening for high school football.
This is the kind of ones that I think when God invented high school football, he dreamed this one up tonight. So 2nd down and 3. Schombacher as the one back here for the North Catholic Trojans. Heisel's going to give it to him. He's got the 1st down as he comes out over the 45 to the 46. Terry Stokes makes the stop along with Jason Cash, but it's a North Catholic 1st down.
I think it was Divasevic, number 28, to carry the ball. Hard numbers to read from up here.
So we give the carry to Dave Divasevic. Yeah, the red on the white, because the numbers are not very big down there. So 1st and 10, North Catholic Trojans at their own 46. Divasevic on the carry, cuts it up to the 50. Divasevic inside Brownsville territory. Brian Heaver finally makes the stop. But North Catholic picks up about 5, and it brings up a 2nd down.
Another nice run by Divasevic. I think that's 3 straight runs, and he has 18 yards every his last 3 carries. They're starting to get a little bit of momentum going.
It looked like they had a defense that time, as it looked like Divasevic was going to be dropped in the backfield.
He cut the play back inside. I think, like you said, they had a defense, but he cut it back towards the middle, and he found some daylight.
2nd down, called for North Catholic. Staying in there, one back set. Long snap count. They just give it inside. Matt King trying to drag him down. He'll be
Divasevic again, Joe.
Down to about the 45 of Brownsville.
Looks like he's going to be about, I want to say, a yard short of a 1st down.
So a big defensive play here for Brownsville as they need to turn the North Catholic Trojans away here.
One thing I've learned about high school football by covering it and watching it over the years is the vantage point that we have, the reality of how far the spot actually is, are two things very far apart.
So a big 3rd and 1 for the Brownsville Falcons as North Catholic comes out and gets them set. Ian Heisel's got him out. They give it again to Divasevic. He's got his 1st down. He's got about 5, and he's got a Trojan 1st down at the Brownsville 40. And for the first time tonight, North Catholic putting together a little bit of a drive.
After their first 2 drives officially netted only 2 yards, they had a couple of penalties. They've put together a nice drive here. I think it started at their own 33-yard line.
So they've reached the 40-yard line of Brownsville. They've been doing it on the ground. First couple series they tried to throw the ball, and Brownsville's defensive secondary was up to the task, but now North Catholic just trying to grind it out, probably trying to get some confidence in herself. It's 1st and 10 for North Catholic. One back set. Ian Heisel's got him out, got him set. He's going to fake it. He gets by. No, he don't. He's going down. Nice defensive job by Jason Kramer.
Not surprising at time that they would try and pass the ball after maybe lulling Brownsville to sleep with the rush, but Kramer, as you said, was all over that play.
Make it a loss of 5, maybe even 6 on a play, so bring up 2nd down. And about 16 for the North Catholic Trojans, so a big defensive play there. They've been able to get a pass rush on him.
Yeah, Heisel hasn't had a lot of time, anytime he's dropped back to pass, really to do anything.
So a big 2nd down, 17. Chevron comes wide to the left. Rush coming. Heisel's going to try to throw down. He's got some separation. Billy Pugh down the coverage. Chevron looked like he had gotten a step behind Billy.
Yeah, it looked like he had a step on Billy, but it looked like as he was heading inside, the ball was thrown outside.
So 3rd down, good coverage by Billy Pugh, and the Trojans faced with a 3rd down and long.
Again, I remind you, unofficially, I think that leaves Heisel 0 for 4 in the passing department.
He was 6 of 15 last week for 100 yards for North Catholic. And we also have a flag down. Let's see if Brownsville takes this, because this is going to back North Catholic up. Holding on the Trojans. Brownsville will decline it, so it brings up, so it'll be 3rd and 17.
I think it's a smart move. You're already facing a long down situation. Take the down away from them, and instead of giving him 2 chances to get the 1st down, you essentially give him 1 now.
Good point. Brings up 3rd down and 17. And then you have to remember one thing down here. See, when you're in junior high, you start on the corner over there, and you don't get to the middle of the field as student section until you're a senior. You've got to work your way down here through the crowd to get to the good spot. So 3rd down for North Catholic. 17. Heisel will drop. He's going to set up shop. He's thrust across the middle. Is incomplete. Great coverage. Terry Stokes stride for stride that time.
He had some time that time in the pocket to throw the ball, but he just overthrew his receiver running across over the middle.
So Brownsville's defensive secondary has been very strong here in the early going.
Yeah, North Catholic did manage to get a couple of first downs on this drive of running the ball, but as you mentioned, Brownsville's secondary so far is a lot nothing.
8:53 left here in the second quarter. Brownsville 7, North Catholic nothing. Looks like we got the Iowa Hawkeyes against the Iowa State Cyclones tonight. Snap, and there's flags. Sweeney, yeah, I'll tell you what, this kid's a good punter. Cash will haul it in at the 10, 15. Makes one man miss and gets to the 18. Nice little return of about 8 yards for Jason Cash. But this may be an illegal motion again on the North Catholic Trojans. And it is.
That's all we have.
That is like the third time on their punts here that North Catholic has been called for some kind of an infraction.
And you think they're going to make them kick us one again?
I think so, because this is going to back them up. I think what maybe hoping for is a bad snap or something here.
G lost the first week to a good South Park team, 15-12 if I'm correct. And Connellsville had a tough time. I believe it was Seneca Valley. 53-28.
The 53 points is what. So if usually if Connellsville scores 28, they pounded somebody, because Dan Spanish likes to run the football, and 28 points is a lot of points for his offense. Ted Sweeney once again to punt it, and this is going to be a line drive. They're going to let it hit, and Brownsville loses 3 yards on the exchange. So they'll start 1st and 10 from their own 15-yard line.
If I'm correct, the 53 points that Connellsville gave up last week, this is a little fact that I'm taking from Herald Standard sports writer Jim Creek, was the last time that happened, they gave that many points up, I believe it was 1962, so it's been a while that defense is...
Wasn't it they gave up 53 one week and 62 the next week?
Yes.
Some number like that.
There we have a reader of Jim Creek, Joe Hoke right here. Picked that fact up out of one of Jim's columns.
I kind of like that article he does on, I believe that's on Thursday, and he puts like the longest runs of stuff in the WPL, and that's a nice article to read. 1st down and 10 for the Brownsville Falcons, and it comes reverse to Cash. Jason needs a block. Look out here, 30, 35, 40, and he gets it out to the 42. Remember last week we saw the end around with Uniontown with Tink Truly. Brownsville comes back with the same exact play.
And who did he get the block from out on the end?
Terry Stokes with the kick out down here.
Nice block, gave him some room, and then he made a couple of nice moves to pick up some extra yardage. I think he knew that he wasn't going to outrun him, so he turned it back in and got maybe about 10 more yards on that play.
So the Falcons will have it at the 42.
27-yard
gain for Jason Cash. Full house backfield behind Craig Richardshire. Counter to Billy Pugh. Billy makes one person miss, gets to about the 45-yard line. Pickup of about 2.
Unofficially, 6 carries for 26 yards for Billy.
Brownsville missing one of their backs tonight, Tommy Kowalski, a senior tailback with a hamstring injury. He hurt in July in a Legion baseball game, and he has not been able to get healthy. And so they're missing a little bit there. And Tommy's also in his starting defensive secondary, so that's a big part of their offense and defense. Stokes comes wide to the right. I formation behind quarterback Craig Richardshire. Option coming. Richardshire cuts it up and gets maybe a yard. Matt Limmer makes the stop for North Catholic, so it brings up 3rd down and about 7.
I think we haven't talked about this yet, Joe, but I think the past couple of years, maybe the last 2 or 3, it's been a very good time to be a Brownsville fan or be part of this Brownsville program. A lot of the athletic teams have been very successful, including the football team, the baseball team this past year, the basketball team, cross-country team. Joe's smiling at me when I mentioned a basketball team.
5 section titles last year by the Brownsville Athletic Pro. Screen coming, and he had it out there, and it was set.
That was set up perfect, and I don't think nobody was in front of, was that Cash?
Billy, I believe it's Jason Cash. If Cash catches that one, it's a touchdown, but Craig kind of threw it into the dirt. Like a one-hopper to the first baseman over there. So Brownsville's going to have to punt it away again. So the last 3 series, they've been able to get a first down and then stall.
North Catholic hanging in this game. From what I saw in the opening drive, I thought that Brownsville maybe was going to be able to do what they wanted with this team, but so far it's 6:57 left before halftime, and it's only 7-0.
Schumar gets a good punt off, making the catch at the 22, and Chevron's going down immediately. Tom Torrey and Jason Cash make the stop, so North Catholic backed up now at their 22. And you're seeing the experience on Brownsville's offensive side right now. They had the screen set there, a little bit of rush, and Craig threw it into the dirt.
I like that play call. And again, if you mentioned, if that ball's thrown out there, I think it's a touchdown.
It's a touchdown.
He has a blocker in front of him. That's it.
And there wasn't a North Catholic Trojan player within 15 yards of the hash mark over there. But the young growing pains continue. We saw Carl Farrell grow up last week, and I assume we're going to see Craig do the same thing here. So here we go. 1st and 10, North Catholic. Offset eye to the right, flanker to the right, split to the left. Heisel gives the handoff, and they've got some room to the 25 to the 27.
I think it was Divasevic again.
Divasevic on the carry. Diversive.
We have a different pronunciation by the PA announcer here.
Diversisec. Diversisec.
We apologize for any mispronounced names.
But it's a pickup of about 6, 2nd and 4, North Catholic.
You're more of a veteran at this than me, Joe, at this, but you don't realize what goes into actually doing these games and broadcast them, and just the pronunciation of the kids' names. Maybe you kind of take that for granted when you're not up here doing it in a booth.
Well, and you get them good Italian names, and them are the toughest, I think, sometimes to pronounce. Flip-flop in the tight end. Offset that eye once again. North Catholic taking a lot of time.
I think we're going to get a delay
that's going to be delay a game. They've been taking a long time between the snap counts. I think they're trying to actually it's almost like they're trying to slow the game down a little bit. That's got to be like North Catholic's 6th or 7th penalty in the first half.
I think unofficially, like it's the 5th or 6th maybe. You were close. Probably about like 40 yards so far in penalties.
And they've really killed them because they had a nice drive going. They had the big holding penalty, a couple on a punts. We'd be amiss, and we meant to say we'd like to thank, and I know it's a week late, but we'd like to thank Uniontown and Laurel Highlands' coaches and athletic directors for last week. It was just a great night up at Uniontown, and we'd like to thank Coach Beener and Coach Fortunga for being very courteous to us after the ball game. And we'll see the Uniontown Red Raiders again. Big hole, come to about the 25 to the 26. The Versiak makes on the carry. He's wrapped up in the middle by Jason Kramer. Billy Pugh comes up and makes the stop, so 3rd down, big play for North Catholic. So the North Catholic Trojans still trail 7-0, trying to get something going here.
Unofficially, Divasevic, 7 carries for 37 yards. I'm going to go with that pronunciation because we haven't had anything officially told to us yet. So
here we go, 3rd down, North Catholic. The receivers to both sides. And here comes the rush down the middle of the field. He's got a man out there. It is incomplete. They had gotten behind the coverage. Chevron was open. Cervone. They had him open. He had gotten behind the coverage, passed just a little bit out of his reach.
The second time that North Catholic has had a man get behind the coverage in a secondary, but Heisel unable to connect with them.
So North Catholic will punt it away again. Billy Pugh and Jason Cash.
Heisel having a tough start at 0 for 6 unofficially.
Yeah, but he's had 2 dropped. I mean, he's had 2 dropped and 2 he just missed on. This has been a problem area for the North Catholic Trojans, not the punter, but they just can't seem to get everything else down. This is a missile.
Another nice punt.
Cash sets it up. They had the wall set. Jason in trouble, and Jason's going to go down.
The thing I liked about that punt, we need Eric to get us the little graphic of hang time.
That thing was up there. I'll bring the stopwatch next week, and that one was up there probably about 6 or 7 seconds. So Brownsville has pretty good field position at their own 34. Bob Ryan makes the stop for the North Catholic Trojans.
Speaking of Eric, our boss, did he have any war stories to tell you about his playing days at Brownsville?
No. See, Eric never played here. See, when Eric was in high school, they played at California University of Pennsylvania on Friday afternoons at 3:30. So that's why nobody ever saw Eric play.
I got you.
No, Eric never got to roam the gridiron here at Redstone Field.
Was that a dirty look we just got from Eric on the field?
It may have been. Inside, the big man, Justin Spence, carrying people. And he gets to about the 48. Justin gets 13. Sean Laverty makes the stop for the North Catholic Trojans.
And he introduced himself to Marty Nosadaka at that time.
So the big man on the carry, and now we got this. You're standing up. We need to. So there's what the problem. Little scuffle in the stands. So it brings up 1st and 10. Give him about 12 on the carry. Pugh looking to bounce it outside, and Billy's going to get nothing on the gain.
Good. Spence with 7 carries for 45 yards. He's having a nice game.
Got off to a good start. Billy gets 1, make it 2nd down and 9. He was wrapped up by the right side of North Catholic defense.
Turning clock. 4:14 left in the first half. 7-0 Brownsville on a Craig Richardshire 4-yard run on opening drive.
Brownsville's moved the ball. They've just not been able to sustain anything right now. North Catholic with people up at the line of scrimmage. They run the counter. There's nothing doing there. North Catholic has got like 8 people in the box. Making the stop for North Catholic, Matt Limmer.
He had a nice run on the option play on the opening drive, but since then he's found very tough on the line. North Catholic has looked pretty good so far after the opening drive.
On the opening drive, North Catholic's defense has really stepped it up a notch. Big 3rd down here. Billy,
excuse me for interrupting. I know next week you mentioned a tough game for Brownsville. Maybe Bart would rather see the team in a game like this.
Could be. I mean, Still Valley's got all the weapons coming in next week. They need a big play here. Cash to the right. Stokes to the left. Billy Pugh is the tailback. Richard to drop. A lot of time, and Richard's pass is incomplete. He was trying to throw it out to Jason Cash to coverage by number 87.
Another no name on our program.
So that'll be incomplete, and Browns is going to have to punt it away again.
You got to watch out for those no names, Joe. They end up maybe kicking a game-winning field goal like last week.
So Browns is going to punt it away again, and right now the offense is sputtering a little bit.
Got the Brownsville Falcon mascot down there trying to incite the crowd a little.
He's wanted nice punt by Bobby Shumar. This is going to be a tough one to handle. It's fumbled, and let's see what happens. Ball still on the turf, and I think the Falcons are going to get us Jason Kramer. The punt was one they're spinning with. That's a tough one to handle, and that may be one of the ones you just want to get away from.
Exactly. I think that was a mistake by the punt returner to even try and handle that, because it looked like he hesitated for just a split second, and then he tried to run up under it. By that time, it was like trying to make a shoestring catch, and I think he'd have been better off, like you said, to just back off and let that one bounce. You've held Brownsville, you're in a game, and you don't want to commit a turnover like that after you just force them to punt.
So I think that's the first turnover of the evening. As North Catholic, you can see that one coming when it come off the punter's foot because the ball was spinning, and every coach has always told me that's the toughest one to handle. It's like that line drive in baseball that's right at you in the outfield.
That got the crowd fired up a little bit.
Nice crowd on hand here at Redstone Field, as there was last week for the Uniontown Laurel Highlands game. Full house backfield. They give it to Spence, and Justin gets down to about the 16. Pickup of 3, and you may see Coach Bart go to him a couple times here.
Do they have any said that they want to divide the playtime between Pugh and Spencer, the carries? Because it seems like every time Justin's got it, he has more people over.
But I think one of the things here is Justin Spence is the known factor back here. Everybody knows he is the one back coming back, and he's the key to stopping him. And you probably got a theory, well, they're going to key on him. Let's see if we can pop Billy loose a couple times.
Good reasoning. That's why you're a coach, Joe.
I don't coach football. I did coach midget league. And they give it to Spence to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Brownsville.
He didn't have to bull over anyone that time. I don't think he was touched.
And they ran out off the left side. And a nice block by Pat Kelly and Bobby Shumar to open the hole. And Brownsville gets a key touchdown there. They go up 13-0.
Was that officially a 17-yard touchdown?
I believe 17 yards for Justin Spence, and he's got his first of the year. So the turnover comes back to haunt the North Catholic Trojans.
2 plays after the turnover.
So Seth DeRazio on to attempt the extra point. And Brownsville takes a 13-zip lead. And that's a big touchdown there right before the half.
It's big also that they were able to capitalize on that mistake.
Richard, they're going to go for 2. His pass is caught, Justin Spence. And Brownsville goes up 15, doesn't fake extra point. So with 2:26 left in the first half, it's now the Brownsville Falcons 15 and the North Catholic Trojans nothing.
I guess that's why Dawn's been a coach such a long time and been so successful. I totally did not expect that play right there.
No, that's a great, that's a great call too, because even if it's unsuccessful, if I'm scouting this, now I've got to prepare for it next week. So giving the Steel Valley Ironmen and the rest of the Century Conference a look at. Stacking up, let's talk a little bit about the Century Conference. I don't know if you know much about it, Dave. It's probably the best AA football conference in the WPIL.
I know last year, I think it was one of the strongest conferences in the WPIL. You had your Brownsville, Charleroi, South Park, I believe.
And Jeanette. And you had also a couple teams like East Allegheny that were not bad football teams. So top to bottom, it was probably the toughest. Now, this year, a lot of people talk about the Three Rivers Conference where Wash High and Waynesburg is the top two. But that conference kind of drops off after the first two teams. But the Waynesburg Central Red Raiders looked pretty dynamite last week, and Wash High.
42-0 win over Lindsley Academy. They'd already come into that game with a game under their belt.
Seth DeRazio with the low line drive. It'll be rolling and going to be picked up at the 25, and good coverage by Brownsville's knee goes down. So North Catholic back up at the 25. We had a couple interesting matchups tonight. Wash and Waynesburg at home to Duquesne. The Raiders and the Iron Dukes speed against size, and a great matchup next tomorrow for Wash High. They go to Riverview Park in Oakmont to take on a very good Riverview Raider team. So we'll see how good them two match up with that team.
Another area team tonight, Mapletown. They're hosting Fort Cherry and Mike Vernello.
Mike Vernello comes to town, and we'll see what happens there. I like to see Maple. I think Mapletown can stay with them for a while. I like that football team for some reason.
I think even if they wouldn't win that game, I think if they stay with them, that's going to prove to George Message they do have a team able to compete this year.
Diversiak bounces off of one man, but he is going nowhere. Nice job by the Brownsville defense that time. Justin Spence makes the stop, brings up second down. I can't believe that they didn't opt to cover a Mapletown game with you being a graduate.
I don't have that kind of pull, Joe.
Man, I would like to have seen Mapletown and Jefferson Morgan or Mapletown and Carmichaels. I think that would have been a great game to cover. Pass is incomplete. And now North Catholic, third down here. You do not want to give the ball back to Brownsville here.
No, because there's 1:58 left in a half, and that's with a type of offense that they're capable of running. That's more than enough time for them to put a score on a board.
So when you were at Mapletown, I believe Derek Bono was the tailback?
Graduated 2 years behind me, and was just a great tailback. And then he went up to Penn State, was a great defensive back, also a great baseball player. It still mesmerizes me that Derek is someplace now in either baseball or football.
Yeah, baseball really, because he was a phenomenal baseball player, and had a great career at Penn State as a baseball player. A lot of people do not do that. But I believe he's coaching football somewhere. I believe the last stop was at Cannon McMillan.
Okay, he was at W&J for a while too, I believe.
I believe right now he is with the Cannon McMillan Big Macs. Quick out, ball's caught. Severone not going to get the first down. Billy Pugh makes the stop, and it brings up fourth down. And North Catholic wants a timeout here. I don't think North Catholic's going to go for the first down here, even though it looked like Ian Heisel wanted to line him up real quick there.
North Catholic called this timeout. It's kind of I guess a surprising move. If I'm North Catholic, I would let the clock run down and then punt the ball instead of stopping it for Brownsville.
So we'll take a timeout here on Harold Standard High School football game of the week on Harold Standard Television. It's the Brownsville Falcons 15 and the Trojans of North Catholic nothing.
You chose to drink and drive. This is the next 60 minutes of your life. Pennsylvania's roads can be highways or dieways. The choice is yours.
As we come back here to Republic, it's a big fourth down, and North Catholic is going to punt it away. Swaney, Jason Cash will stand back inside his 40. If they get any kind of field position here. Low snap, Swaney scoops it up. This is going to come down to Cash. Cash will take it, and Cash better look out here. And Jason goes down immediately.
We've seen some dangerous attempts at some punt returns tonight on both sides of the ball.
Fair catching is not an option in this one. This is like arena football. You don't fair catch it. Looks like Brownsville's having some trouble on their punt returns handling the outside man here.
So with 1:41 left in a half, we'll see if Brownsville chooses to try and get down the field or where they just try and pound the ball and go in with a 15-0 lead.
I think maybe they may try to go for something here. Looking for maybe throw something deep here to Billy Pugh or Jason Cash and see if we can get a touchdown before half. Tight slot to the left, flanker to the right. One back is Justin Spence. Rich try to throw it. And Jay Craig's pass, and there's going to be a flag. And he had Jason Cash out there.
Yeah, I think we're going to get a holding call on a defensive back.
If he doesn't hold Jason Cash, that might have been a touchdown.
Yeah, Cash looked like he had a mood on Sean Lavery, and he just reached out and grabbed a hold of him.
Richard showing some nice touch on that throw right there. So that's going to put Brownsville out close to midfield. Now mark it at the Brownsville 47-yard line.
I think this is important for North Catholic.
Yeah,
They can't afford to go down 21 or 22 to nothing.
No, if they go down 21-0, they've got to start throwing the ball. Brownsville's going to start pinning the ears back. But I think overall, Coach Bart has to be somewhat pleased with his first half performance here of his offense and defense. Except for the first one, the second, third drive there for North Catholic, Brownsville's defense has really stuffed them. Stokes comes to split to the right, Cash to the flanker to the left, one back, and they're going to go back and get them. He's got Cash out there, Jason at the 20, inside the 20 to the 17. Nice throwing catch by the Brownsville Falcons.
They got a flag of it on a flag out of the play on the right sideline to play before. Why not switch it to the other sideline, wide open again?
And Jason Cash, who has ankle problems, goes down with one ear. He has a bad ankle, and Jason Cash is shaken up. But it looks like it may be a cramp from the way they've got him held over there. So the Falcons inside the North Catholic 20, and Craig Richardson with an impressive throw there. I'll tell you, if they give the man time, the kid has got all the potential in the world. And I believe Coach Bart wants to talk this over here. So Brownsville will take a timeout. We'll keep it right here. See, when I was in high school, Dave.
We're talking a long time ago.
You were talking, Brian Davis was the tailback at Wash High. And when I was in high school, it was the first Century Conference title Brownsville ever won. And they went 9-1 that year. They lost to Riverside here at Republic, 15-14. Riverside that year lost in the WPL title game to Beaver Falls, who Brownsville had tied early in the year here. The wide receiver for Beaver Falls was Dwight Collins. And that year, Brownsville was the first team in the WPIL to have two 1,000-yard rushers in a season. And from that point to like 1991, Brownsville was just a dominant football team. And then they had a couple lean years, and then Coach Bart came back, and it has been Katie bar the door the last two here.
As we talked a little bit earlier, a good time to be a Brownsville fan, especially the baseball team this year being, I think, a game away from the WPL championship.
They lost in the WPL championship game, and they lost in the Western Regional State title game. And there's a couple kids from that team playing baseball now. Mitch Mitchell is a Gulf Coast community in Florida, and I had a chance to talk to Jeremy Thomas earlier. He's at Garrett Community College, and he says he loves every minute of it. So I tell you, it was just the winning percentage of Brownsville was the highest percentage for a public high school last year. Overall, the three major sports were 48-8 last year.
Joe bringing on some statistics that he no doubt worked on this week.
So Brownsville will be charged. I believe we're going to get a legal motion on the Falcons.
I don't know if you know, Joe, but how long was the pass to Cash?
Say about 32.
Unofficially, Richard Shar, 3 of 6 for 64 yards.
So not a bad start for the young man. Fake it to Spence. Keep it on the option. He's to the 15. Look at this. 10 to the 5. Touchdown. Craig Richardson. And I'm going to tell you what, he looks very impressive turning that one up. And you talked about not being in the program. That's his second. He's got two now in the evening, and it's 21-0 Brownsville with 1:23 left first half.
Sorry, I was watching Mike Patitucci there for a minute.
I'm going to tell you what, Craig is not the most nimble of people, but he shaked and baked there, and that's a touchdown. Cut it back very nicely at the 5, and the Brownsville Falcons. And now we're going to get a flag, and you talked about it. North Catholic could be in big trouble now because there seems to be a little bit of momentum now rolling with the Brownsville Falcons.
Yeah, definitely the turnover hurt them, but then giving the ball up right away again, leaving that much time on the clock for Brownsville.
And now,
not too long ago, it was a 7-0 game.
7-0, and North Catholic seemed to be gaining some momentum. Now, if you're North Catholic, one of the things is, what do you do with the ball? Because you can't afford to throw 3 passes and go 3 out again.
I tell you what I would do. I would do the same thing that they did there on their successful drive in the second quarter. Run the ball, Divasevic, try and pound it. You can't get it all back in one play anyway.
That's a 25-yard extra point, and Seth DeRazio boots it right down the middle. And so with 1:23 left in the first half, the Brownsville Falcons on their opening night lead the North Catholic Trojans 22-0, and a couple impressive drives the last two by Brownsville.
Take a minute here to thank the people of Brownsville, the coaches in the athletic department. They have a set up here nice up in a press box. the cooperation from the cheerleaders beforehand on helping us put off our pregame show. And the mothers of the babies.
Miss Acid, we'd like to thank her, and we'd like to thank Ozzy. That's all we know him by.
Even though Eric made the babies cry.
Yeah, but we'd like to thank Miss Acid, Jennifer, for the use of her very lovely daughter, a very cute young lady, and
Eric Diner smoozing with Herald Standard photographer Lee Wadsworth.
Eric working hard as always. So Seth DeRazio to kick it off. Severon goes back deep. Cervone and Reckenball back deep. Reckenwald and Reckenwald number 88. So the Brownsville Falcons out fast here, 22-0 on the North Catholic Trojans. And Seth gets a boomer off here. This is going to be hard to handle. It'll be taken at the 16, 25. Cuts it up to the 30, got a lane to the 33, and that's another young man with no number.
I think North Catholic decided to make it tough on us tonight, Joe.
Yeah, they got a... Justin Samuel makes the stop, and you talking about a character there.
There's still a minute 16 left. Brownsville stops here. They still have time.
That's what I said. If you're North Catholic, do you want to go and throw 3 passes? Because you don't want to go 3 and out, because in that drive, it looked like Richard Charles started gaining a little bit more confidence throwing the ball downfield, and Spence is running hard, and a nice run on the option. So offensively, they're getting some confidence. That offensive line starting to play really well. Pat Kelly, Brett Balaban, Jason Rice, Bobby Schumar up front. They're doing a nice job along with Mike Rutherford. They're just going to hand it off, and now nothing doing there as Brownsville's defense starting to assert itself a little bit here. Jason Rice and I believe Brandon Smith make the stop.
After a stringer where Divasevic was gaining some positive yards and they were moving the ball, his last 2 carries both from -1 yard.
So the Brownsville defense off to a great start. North Catholic now through 6 quarters of football have scored just 8 points. 1 back set. Ian Heisel's got him out. And Heisel's going to throw. He's got some time. He's looking. He throws one deep. He's got a man out there. Nice coverage and a great attempt out there.
That looked like that was off his fingertips. Is that Cervone?
Cervone on the reception, but great coverage by Brownsville that time.
I like that call with 32 seconds left, though. You aired out, and he had really a chance to complete that pass if he holds on.
So it brings up 3rd down. Billy Pugh with the coverage, along with number 34. And that would be Justin Samuel. So Samuel getting some time here in the defensive sector. He's only a sophomore. The only game Justin Samuel ever lost was he got run over by a truck one night. So it brings up 3rd down and long. North Catholic once again want to put it in the air. Crossing route right to Justin Spence and almost picked off. The big boy would have, I'm going to tell you what, he had room to roam if he catches that one.
He almost took that one off, and on a tip, I think Billy Pugh almost got to it.
So there'll be 26 seconds, and the North Catholic Trojans now will have to punt it away again. And if Brownsville gets a good return, they may try to go deep one more time.
Been a tough first half on Heisel. I unofficially have him 1 for 10 for 6 yards.
1
like
for
you mentioned,
10.
a couple of those passes were dropped in. He did have a chance at a couple of long passes that he just missed on.
So the North Catholic Trojans will punt it away again. Sweeney will do it. Cash and Pugh back deep this time. So Brownsville's secondary, which Coach Bart may have thought was going to be somewhat of a suspect area, has really stepped their game up tonight. Sweeney, probably one of the best punters I have seen. They coming! They got the block! It's on the turf! Brownsville doesn't know where the ball's at, and Sweeney's going to get a 1st down out of a gift. You talking about a gift for the North Catholic Trojans.
That's just simply amazing. I was just going to comment on, I thought the 3rd down play, I run the ball and let the clock run out, or take as much time off as I can, and then maybe punt the ball and give them a couple seconds left. They threw the pass incomplete, stopped the clock, then the punt's blocked, but yet they picked the ball up and ran for a 1st down.
Brownsville had their punt return set on there. Everybody was pulling back. Kramer come loose, blocked the punt. He had nobody to pick the ball up. Sweeney picks up about 30 yards. There's the biggest run of the night, and it wasn't even designed. So the Trojans get a gift. Neybauer out wide to the right. They've got a slot. They're going to try to go for this. Heisel's rolling. His thrust wide open. 25-20. And North Catholic with 5 seconds left have reached the Brownsville 29-yard line. And the Trojans are going to take a timeout, so North Catholic's going to get a gift here. That is the strangest play, one of the strangest plays I have ever seen. There was nobody around.
Another thing I think is a little bit suspect, that receiver catches that ball, I'm getting out of bounds.
Yeah, just take the 8 or 9 yards, get out of bounds, stop the clock. But so North Catholic now at the 29.
Got to guard against this play here. I mean, you certainly don't want to give a touchdown up and let them back in the game. With
No, not yeah, especially the way you've played the first half. I think
Exactly.
Brownsville's has played a very strong first half here.
That was about a, what, 16, 17-yard gain?
Out there, yep.
Heisel hasn't looked as bad as his numbers indicate, 2 for 11, but he just missed a couple of receivers.
He had a
and he
strong
didn't have
arm.
drops, yes.
Heisel, like Richard Char, did not quarterback, was the backup last year up at North Catholic, so he's getting his chance to start.
Did Mr. Patitucci see any playing time?
He saw some time. In fact, he had a pretty good game up at North Catholic last year. He threw a 76-yard touchdown pass to Mitch Mitchell. Quarterbacked all the second half against South Allegheny. Led Brownsville to 2 touchdowns. He's had a phenomenal JV season last year. In fact, he threw for 400 yards against Uniontown in a JV game last year. So the potential is there, and he's starting to fill it. But this is a big first down play with 5 seconds left. The Trojans got it to Brownsville 29. Motion comes across the formation. Heisel will drop. Heisel will look. His pass. He's going out, and that ball is going to be incomplete. Great coverage, Jason Cash, Billy Pugh, and that's going to bring us to the end of the first half from Redstone Field in Republic, Pennsylvania. It's the Brownsville Falcons 22 and the North Catholic Trojans nothing.
Automotive Machine Shop Service. Call 785-9699. Scott's Pizzeria, located on Route 48 miles west of Uniontown. For great pizza and Italian food, eat in or take out. Open Monday through Saturday. Come in and try one of our specials or call 785-8040.
The People's Choice, elect Sean Cavanaugh and David Lohr. No strings attached, no special interest, just two good common men for good government. Cavanaugh Lohr, 99. The People's Choice.
And we welcome you back here at Redstone Field for the start of the second half as the Brownsville Falcons lead the North Catholic Trojans by a score of 22-0. As soon as Dave gets himself hooked up here, we're going to go back through some of the stats. Brownsville opened up with a 76-yard drive, 11 plays, and Craig Richards capped it off on a 4-yard touchdown run, giving Brownsville a quick 7-0 lead. After that, Dave, both teams seemed to fill each other out after Brownsville took the 7-0 lead.
We thought we had ourselves quite a ball game there with 7-0 for a long time, but then 2:26 left in the second quarter. Brownsville took advantage of a mistake. I believe it was on the punt, the fumble punt return. Justin Spence made 2 plays after the fumble punt return, 17-yard run, and added the 2-point conversion, and Brownsville left 15-0 with 2:26 left.
And then right before the half, Brownsville forced the 3-and-out. They got the ball back. Rich Char went 36 yards down the left sideline to Jason Cash. One play later on option again, Rich Char turned it up, went 17 yards. Brownsville led it 22-0. Seth DeRazio with both of the extra points, and except for one series, North Catholic's offense has done absolutely nothing tonight.
No, the Brownsville defense has played exceptionally well. The secondary, the defensive line, like you mentioned, they basically held North Catholic's ground game in check except for the one series.
And as we talk about the first half, you got to give credit to Brownsville's offensive line, the big guys up front. And we say big guys, and there's some guys there that aren't really the biggest in the world. But a great job by Bobby Shumar, Pat Kelly, Brett Balaban, Jason Rice, and Mike Rutherford up front along with Tom Torrey. They have played extremely well up front here, and Coach Bart has to be really happy with that group.
Especially not after not playing last week when every other team opened in high school. Brownsville came out this game an 11-play, 76-yard drive. The first time they touched the ball, Richard Shaw looked sharp throwing the ball and running the ball. And then they kind of went into, they still moved the ball, but they kind of went into a little funk there but as we mentioned, North Catholic didn't want to do anything to put themselves in position. They wanted to stay in this game where it was 7-0. And as soon as we talked about that, it seems like we jinxed them. They fumbled the punt return. Brownsville made them pay, and then they got the ball back again and made them pay again. And so instead of a 7-0 game, we have a 22-0 game as we start the second half.
A couple kids on defense for Browns that I think playing really well. Matt King, junior down lineman, has played really well. And Brandon Smith, one of the linebackers. We know about Justin Spence. Brandon has done a really nice job inside too for Brownsville right now.
You mentioned Justin Spence. He just made a jarring hit in the first half on one of North Catholic's ball carriers. He has also had a good game on the ground, unofficially 9 carries for 61 yards, and Billy Pugh 9 carries for 28 yards. So Brownsville moving the ball on the ground and through the air in the first half.
North Catholic looked like they wanted to come out throwing the ball, but Brownsville's defense and secondary, Stokes, Cash, Heber, and Billy Pugh have done a really good job back there.
Yes, a couple of drop balls by North Catholic. Their quarterback Heisel, 2 of 11 for only 23 yards, excuse me. But he's had a couple of balls drop, but I think more the fact that Brownsville's secondary, there just hasn't been anybody open.
How bad has it been for North Catholic's first half? Their best play, a Brownsville block punt that they scooped up, and the kid ran 30-some yards for a North Catholic first down. The Trojans tried right there to have to put one in the end zone. They were denied. They will get the ball to start the second half. What are they going to have to do to get back into this thing?
We talked about this a little bit before the first half ended. I wouldn't come out and try and throw the ball. I would come out and run the ball, which you were successful with on a one drive in the first half. Try and pound the ball away to Devosevic. I think we have a correct pronunciation of that now. Keep going to that because you never know what can happen. If you get a score, maybe a turnover, you're right back in a ball game. So right now with a full 2 quarters left to play, I wouldn't let panic set in and start putting the ball up on every down.
And does the Herald Standard Television jinx continue, or not a jinx in this case, if your name's not in the program, you put on a show?
Craig Richardchar, name not in the program. not listed among the starting lineups, and he's had a good first half. Last week, Sean Ting, not in the program, kicks a game-winning field goal against arch rival LH for Uniontown. So
who will not be in the program next week for AG in Connellsville? Seth DeRazio, who had a good first half, gets the kickoff this time. It'll come to the 15 right in the middle. 20 to the 25, 30, and good return out over the 30 to the 32. Making a stop for the Brownsville Falcons there, number 22. Jason Gaddish makes the stop, and so North Catholic will start first down and 10.
I think at blocked punt play in the first half, they pulled that out of your playbook when midget football, like when you were coaching.
Oh yeah, that's the Hiller special there. So North Catholic and Ian Heisel's got some work to get done here. They're going to have to find a way to get some offense mounted. David Nabar comes to the left. Severon wide to the right. And the give is inside, and there's not a whole lot doing right there. Jason Rice makes the first hit, and a whole bunch of other Falcons get off the pile, along with Patrick Kelly. Dave Diversiak making the carry, but there was nothing doing there, and really maybe Coach Finnegan from North Catholic's feeling, hey, we just got to get some kind of confidence here.
After Diversiak got into a groove there in the second quarter, his last 3 carries have went for -2 yards, so the Brownsville defense, after giving up a couple of first downs, have clamped down on the running game.
Second down, Heisel with the long stretch handoff. Nice job to force it back inside. Nice job by the Brownsville defensive end out here as they forced him back inside. Terry Stokes, Brandon Smith make the stop. They forced that one back inside.
Yeah, credit to Vucevic there. He absolutely turned, I think, what was a loss into a 5-yard gainer.
So third down, 6, 10:52, 22-0 Brownsville, as North Catholic has it at their own 38-yard line. Second week of the Harold Standard High School football game of the week. Flip-flop in the ends. Brownsville doing a lot of moving on defense here. Heisel will drop. He's going to roll. Pass is incomplete. Good coverage again by Billy Pugh. Good pressure that time. And now we're going to get a flag, and that's going to be on Matt King, and that's going to cost Brownsville big time. This is going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Matt King.
Yeah, it's not a real smart play there. You just force the incompletion. You're going to get the ball back. I think Dawn's probably going to remind him of that, too, when he comes on the sideline.
Yeah, I believe so. Matt and Ian Heisel seem to got tied up down there, and
best thing to do in that situation is just get up and walk away. You know you're going to get the ball back, but this is going to move the chain, so you don't want to give the team any gifts. So
North Catholic will get a first down, and just as you had talked about it, I believe Jesse Saxon comes out on the field to replace Matt King. So you had them pinned, you had them stopped, you were going to get the ball back, and you could have actually went down and maybe put the nail in the coffin.
So far, North Catholic's 2 biggest plays, picked up a block punt and run for a first down, and then a personal foul call. So first down 10 for the North Catholic Trojans. They'll have it inside Brownsville territory. Sean Laverty out here to the left, Severon to the right. Diversiak inside, and there's carried inside, and there's not a whole lot doing. Good pressure by Patrick Kelly, and then Jesse Saxon cleaned it up. So Patrick Kelly forced it back inside. Jesse Saxon cleaned it up. I think what's Heisel struggling too, that Brownsville knows that maybe they can key on Diversiak. And like I said, there was a spurt there where he had about 30 yards rushing on 5 attempts, but since then, absolutely nothing. The one play they seem to have success when they run it is they run that stretch like we talked last week with Laurel Highlands, where they try to stretch everybody out, cut it back inside. Here it comes, Diversiak on the carry. And Patrick Kelly just ran him down from behind. So Patrick Kelly on the stop, and the big boy there, as we like to call him, he's a whole 5'6", 180 pounds. Tough kid though, Patrick is a very good kid, a very nice ball player, and does a good job for Coach Bart down inside. Aside from one pass late in the first half, I believe that North Catholic's longest play from scrimmage is 7 yards. That may be. That's a possibility. Third down, let's call it 7. North Catholic on a turning clock. We're going to get offsides on Brownsville. We're going to get offsides or a motion maybe?
And I believe this is going to be on Jason on his side. And so penalties here to begin the second half. We're giving North Catholic a little bit of life. No, they're going to call this on North Catholic. I really thought Jason had come across that
I think number 45 for North Catholic, Matt Limmer, started a little bit early. They've been unfortunate too tonight. They've got penalized a couple of times in key situations.
The scary part about this thing, you look down Brownsville starting offensive lineup, and their biggest player is the fullback at 237.
Hey, you know what they say about
speed kills. So here we go. North Catholic faced with a 3rd down 12. They're back in midfield with a 1-back set. Slot to the left, flanker to the right. Heisel will drop. He's going to throw it. This is going to be picked off. Jason Cash picks it off, and he's got room. 25-30. Out to the 35, to the 40, 45, and he brings it back to the 47-yard line. Now, there is a flag down. Let's see if it's on Brownsville, but Cash picks it off and brings it back to the Brownsville 47.
I'll tell you what, watching Heisel throw that ball, it looked like it slipped out of his hand.
And this is going to be on North Catholic. They call it's a holding penalty. And they're conferring down here with one of the Brownsville captains, and I think Patrick's going to have to tell them, hey, we want the football, and that's what they want. So 1st down and 10, second turnover of the evening for the North Catholic Trojans.
It seemed like all the momentum that North Catholic had after they, in the first half, got their initial first down on a drive and got a couple of first downs, had just been shot after the turnover. So
Craig Richardshire, who I believe was 4 for 7 in the first half.
4 for 7 for 64 yards.
Begins the second half with a full house backfield behind him. And they give it off inside. That's Justin Spence, and he's got about 5 to the 49-yard line of North Catholic. And actually, Brownsville's got North Catholic right where they want it, because they'll put it on the ground and grind this baby out for the rest of the ball game. Our Herald Standard Television game of the week, we will go to York Run when the Connellsville Falcons and the Albert Gallatin Colonials meet in a Quad South opener. And strangely, Connellsville could come into that ball game 0-2 next Friday night.
Yeah, Connellsville was picked by a lot of people to fare very well in Quad A this year.
Give it to Spence, and he's going to be wrapped up at the line of scrimmage, falls forward for a yard.
I think that's one of the few times tonight that I saw Justin actually get taken down at the line of scrimmage and stay down.
Britt makes the stop for North Catholic, brings up 3rd down. Let's see if they put it in the air here. Ball resting at the North Catholic Trojans 48-yard line with a 3rd down and 5. Brett Balaban comes out over the ball. 4-house backfield behind him. North Catholic's bringing the whole enchilada here. Give it to Spence. 45 falls forward. He's going to be close. North Catholic with a lot of people up at the line of scrimmage right now.
I think they're just trying, they probably know exactly what you said, that Brownsville's just going to try and grind it out, and there are a bunch of people up on the line.
If North Catholic runs up there again, look for them to fake it to the fullback and look for the tight end down here in the corner. I believe Justin's going to be just short. Good first game for Justin Spence.
Yeah, unofficially, 12 carries for over 70 yards.
And unlike last year when you had Matt Krause and them in the backfield, Justin right now is the focal point. He's running against some people that are probably keyed up to stop him. And Coach Bart looks
like you said, Joe. You go for it here?
Yeah, Coach Bart's going to go for it. Craig Richardshire comes back into the huddle. See maybe if they try to go long snap, but I look for him to go here for this.
I see that other TV station copying some of our ploys down there, Joe.
Get out of here. Yeah, trying to talk to the North. Now, I have a question. Who's going to see the North Catholic cheerleaders next week from the north side of Pittsburgh? All right, here we go. 4th down and short. Richardshire turns, gives it to Spence. He's got his first down. Just turn, give it to Spence. Justin goes inside the 45 to the 43, move the sticks. And now for North Catholic, the worst case scenario is starting to happen. Brownsville's moving the ball on the ground and the clock starts to wind. 7:01, we're inside of 7 minutes.
Just keep it on the ground here, run out the clock. I'm sure you're going to see maybe some backups come in here in the 4th quarter if the score stays as it is. Bart maybe wanting to get a lot of people some playing time here. Perfect night, though, again, as we mentioned. Beautiful night for football.
Brownsville with an offset. They're going to drop pass. Complete. Torrey inside the 30, 25-20, 15-10-5. That's a Brownsville touchdown. Richardshire to Tom Torrey. You know, they live like right down the road from each other.
I don't think you want to run into him. just like Justin Spence bowled over people, Tom Torrey that time bowled over a North Catholic defender. Then it looked like he gained a burst of speed once he got into the open field.
So Tom Torrey, who had to play behind the shadows of one Mitch Mitchell last year, with his first touchdown of the season, and Browns are now comfortably ahead 28-zip. And that should put Craig close to 100 yards. Seth DeRazio looking to add the extra point here. Snap is down, it is good. And Seth DeRazio right down the middle of it. And the Brownsville Falcons now lead at 29-0.
I want to ask Joe, my official stat man, how long was that pass?
We're going to go, I believe that was 44 yards. Richard Char to Torrey. Brownsville leads at 29-0. And they've started the first game. They started the first half with a great drive. They started the second half with a great drive. Richard Char putting that one right on the numbers, and Coach Bart's got to be pleased, Dave.
Yeah, Richard Shore has looked very impressive tonight, running the option, running the offense, and passing. A couple of passes I was off the mark on, but in 8 pass attempts, he's looked impressive. I mentioned he got playing time last year. It's not like he's coming in here without any playing time like we saw Carl Farrell last week. So I'm sure that you'll see him also, as we talked about Carl progressing as the season goes on. You're going to see a comfortable quarterback here maybe 6-7 games down the road.
So Craig Richard Char gets the second half started well. Justin Spence with a couple runs, and that offensive line once again playing well. And the Brownsville Falcons lead this one 29-zip over the North Catholic Trojans. And now North Catholic's getting into that situation, Dave. If they give another touchdown, the clock don't stop. Good kick, taken at the 18. Up over the 25 to the 30. 35, staying on his feet to the 37-yard line, and North Catholic will start there, first down and 10.
I think it's hard emotionally, too, because you're in a 7-0 game, and there's 2 minutes left in the first half, and pretty soon you're down 22-0, and all of a sudden I think that really deflates your enthusiasm real quick.
Okay, we found out who number 2 is for North Catholic. That's Aaron Rechtenwall. He has number 88 listed in the program. So Aaron on a return.
You got the cheerleaders displaying some of their arms down there.
A couple of them can throw the ball pretty well.
Firing some footballs into the crowd.
So North Catholic they got to do something here. They've got to find some offense. Heisel's got them out, got them set at their own 36-yard line. Inside trap, and there's a little bit of room there. He breaks one tackle. Big boy coming up inside. That'll be Matt Limmer. He carries Falcon tacklers out over the 45 to about the 47.
I think if you're down 29-0 now, you really, I don't think, should put the ball up in the air. Just stick to your game plan. It's one of those situations where you got to start thinking now about, you don't want to get anybody hurt, and you maybe want to get some other kids some playing time.
North Catholic now has not scored a touchdown scored just one touchdown in 6.5 quarters of football. Second down, short. Trojans got it at their own 47. Heisel once again, long snap count. Browns are coming with the blitz and breaking 1 tackle, 2 tackles. He's got the first down. There is a flag down.
That was Devosevic.
Devosevic on the carry. They look like they had him wrapped up in the backfield. Next Friday, as we said, Albert Gallatin and Connellsville over at AG. And in 2 weeks from now, when Dave goes to Arizona to find, I don't know, him and Eric was talking about, what was that news was talking about the other day, about finding good feelings or something?
One of the points of energy or something.
Yeah,
Eric knows more about this than me.
Yeah, points of energy. I will be at Booster
Field. Positive energy.
I will be at Booster Field with the California Trojans and the Fraser Commodores. And then Dave, when you come back, you're coming right back here after vacation when Brownsville and Charleroi. And that may be homecoming. So North Catholic gets called for holding. Back it up, 2nd and 12 now for the Trojans, back at their own 35. Heisel to throw. Heisel gets away, and his pass is incomplete. He got away from Jason Kramer.
That Panzo had no chance. He threw it into the ground.
Kramer brings a lot of pressure that time.
Up 29-0 too. It gives you a lot of options. So what you can do, you can maybe play a little more free-spirited defense than you can in a tight situation.
Well, from here on out, everything will count starting next week. Everybody gets into conference play.
That should be an interesting game, Connellsville and Albert Gallatin.
It should be, because if Albert Gallatin can get a W tonight, which I think is a great football game, AG and Uniontown tonight,
Yes, wish we could have got an update on that game at halftime.
North Catholic in the offset eye. Hazel will throw. He's going to get the pass off. This is going to be incomplete. No, intercepted. Jason Cath needs to make somebody miss. He does. Jason comes back to the 40. Jason to the 45. He's got his second interception.
On Heisel's last 2 deep passes, I think Cash was the most person that was wide open.
And he just threw that one up, it looked like. So North Catholic turns it over for the 3rd time tonight. I will guarantee you next week we'll have a halftime update. Because intern Billy will drive from York Run to Republic and then drive back in the second half.
Joe going on a power kick up here in the booth.
So it'll be 1st down and 10 Browns. So let's see what Coach Bart wants to do at 5:05. He may go for the knockout punch here, Dave. Flanker to the left. Stokes, that's Jason Cash. Stokes is split to the right. Pugh now lines up as the wing to the right. And North Catholic bringing a lot of people. 3-step drop. He's going again. He's got him out there again. And Jason Cash can't get to it. Nice throw. Good chance by Jason.
I think I got called by Bart, though. Instead of just settling into the running game, keep the defense on their toes. Don't concede to them that you're going to run the ball.
Well, North Catholic's giving that to them right now. They're committing everybody to the run. And Browns are right now just using their athletic ability, trying to get people one-on-one in situations. And right now they've been able to throw the ball pretty effectively.
A lot of talk that Brownsville lost some people. They lost a lot of their skill people. Maybe they were going to be rebuilding. You think that might change after people see the score
when
tonight?
Somebody sees the score here, it's going to open some eyes. Pugh to the right, Stokes to the left, one back, give it to Justin Spence, and the big boys rambling. Inside the 50 to the 46-yard line. Justin's got about 9 more.
Unofficially, 14 carries for 84 yards from Justin.
Dvorchak makes the stop. And I tell you what, Justin looks very comfortable running out of this one back set after so many years of Brownsville being in a power eye and full house backfield. Full house behind Craig Richachar. Give it to Spence, and Justin's got his 1st down inside the North Catholic 45 to the North Catholic 44.
One thing that has surprised me a little bit tonight, Joe, I thought I'd see the option a little bit more out of Brownsville.
Craig is not a great option quarterback, and I think they just want to show it to him, and he showed there in the 1st half that he can run it. But I think Coach Bart, now knowing he's up 29-0, no reason to put Craig out there on the perimeter and let somebody take a shot at him.
Good point.
Because they go to 2 really young quarterbacks after this. So 1st down and 10 Brownsville inside at the North Catholic 45. Fake it to Spence. Dave, great option call there. 40-35, Billy Pugh to the 30. Inside the 30 to the 27, still on his feet to the 23. Great call, and they set it up nice that time.
I think a lot of people last year, you were talking about Craig, a lot of people, everyone knew about Mike Patitucci, but I heard a lot of talk personally that Richardson, when he came in there, wasn't really that much of a drop-off, they didn't think. They were confident with Craig.
Craig is just a good athlete. I mean, he is a really good athlete. I mean, and he just got stuck in a situation where you have a kid, the capabilities of Mike Patitucci, you're not going to play in front of him. But there was a lot of people believe he's that good. Spence, if he gets to the corner, runs the guy over, and this is a Brownsville touchdown. At North Catholic that time, my man just wanted no parts of him.
You started to say if he got to the corner, he didn't have to get to the corner. All he had to do was hit somebody, knock him over, and then make it into the end zone. He's did that probably 8 or 9 times tonight.
And Brownsville goes up 35-0, and the mercy rule will now be in effect.
We're going to call that officially.
Yeah, an impressive drive now as Brownsville takes their 2 turnovers in the second half. And Seth DeRazio looking for his 4th extra point. Snap is good, and Seth has banged it down the middle again. And with 3:31 left here in the 1st half from Redstone Field, it's the Brownsville Falcons 36, the North Catholic Trojans nothing. I didn't expect this. to Republic, where the Brownsville Falcons have just put on another touchdown drive. Justin Spence caps it off from 22 yards out, and Dave, he turned the corner, ran the kid over, and sprinted to the end zone.
One-on-one is definitely not a situation I would want to be in with Justin Spence.
And Coach Finnegan's got to be wondering, because I think he thought coming into it that he could play with Brownsville. But right now it has been all the Falcons as they have jumped out 36-0, 3:31 left, and the mercy rule now goes into effect, and that's even going to hamper North Catholic more.
It's funny how the turnover, I think, just dramatically changed the tide of this game. It went from a 7-0 one-score game to a 36-0 game in a matter of about 6 minutes.
And look at this, North Catholic, and you know what? It is starting to fall apart for the Trojans.
Yeah, what's it saying about when it rains?
When it rains, it pours, and what's that thing? It's too late now because the horses are out, so don't unlock the barn door now. So North Catholic now, and I believe they've got to find something. They just got to get the ball in the end zone somewhere. They have not been productive on offense. Clock begins to run. It will not stop now from now to the end of the game.
There was a rule that was instated last year in the WPIAL?
Instated last year. I don't like it. And I'll tell you why I don't like it. If North Catholic, I think it should be the mercy rule as it is now, 35 points, but once you get it back under 35, you should be able to stop it. So first down and 10 for the North Catholic Trojans, and there is nothing doing there. Marty Nasidic on the carry, and he's wrapped up. Jason Rice, Jesse Saxon makes the stop. See, that's the reason I don't like it, because I've seen stranger things happen. And what happens if Heisel goes down, throws a touchdown, they fumble the kickoff, you go in, now you're down 36-14. Or what happens if you come back and it's a 36-35 game and the clock's running and you ain't got a chance? I mean, stranger things have happened.
Another thing I like about Joe, the forever optimist.
Inside give, and now for North Catholic, it's just not going anywhere. Nasaka on the carry again. Josh Petco makes the stop for the Falcons, another young kid, so Bart slowly starting to move some younger guys into the lineup.
Bart has to like what he saw tonight. Other than the one drive, they've basically controlled the line of scrimmage both offensively and defensively. He's
got great play from the offensive line. His receivers have caught the ball. Young quarterback has made good throws, and Justin Spence has been advertised as is. He's been the hammer back there. Some new faces in for the Falcons. Quick slant coming here. That ball is incomplete.
Pass is incomplete.
I believe that was Philip Richardson on the carry for Brownsville.
Looked like we had another number he was attempting to that we don't have on the program. Number 36, if my eyes aren't faulty.
Probably who it was. And North Catholic right now struggling with numbers and names and
yardage and first downs.
You know what? And then you got to get back on that bus and go to that traffic in Pittsburgh. That's a long hike.
There's always that stop at McDonald's, though, Joe. That'll cheer him up.
You know what? On nights like this, you don't want to stop at McDonald's. You just want to get back on the bus, so please get me home. One of the bright spots here, it'll be Ted Swaney. He will punt it away. This is going to come to Jason Cash. Cash at the 40, at the North Catholic 35. Jason bangs it around, and look out here. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Cash goes the distance. Touchdown, Brownsville. And if the nail wasn't in the coffin, they've just shut it tight now.
Interesting return. It makes me think Eric Metcalf was released this week by an NFL team, but that's subsequently signed. Cash putting on some of the moves that Metcalf uses.
So Jason Cash, he's already got 2 interceptions and a touchdown. I mean, not a touchdown, but 2 interceptions, now adds a touchdown.
Making a strong bid for player of the game.
There's a few out there. And like last week with Uniontown, who are you going to give it to? Seth DeRazio looking for his 5th extra point. Chris Zivkovich to hold. Seth's got another one, and the Brownsville Falcons lead this one 43-0. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm shocked. I really thought this would be a lot tighter football game, but give Coach Barton his kids credit. They have really turned it up a notch tonight.
Think Still Valley's looking to score?
I'm going to tell you what, there's probably some Still Valley people here going, I thought they were done. Maybe they're not rebuilding. They just threw a couple cartridges in, and maybe Coach Bart was right. He's just reloading.
Well, like I said, I've known Bart a long time, or none of his teams, and they've always been respectable. Even if he considered he's having a down year, they've been respectable.
They have been very crisp. They have not turned the ball over. They have forced a few turnovers, and offensively, they have been dynamite.
Yeah, as you mentioned, it's going to be hard to name a player of the game.
It is. I mean, because you got Justin Spence, who's close to 100 yards rushing, Rechachar close to 100 yards passing, Cash with a touchdown and 2 interceptions, Craig Rechachar with a touchdown pass and 2 running, Spence with 2.
I think we're going to leave it up to Eric next week. He gives us all the tough jobs.
You know, last week we gave it to the whole Uniontown offensive line and the whole team. This has been just about as good as a team effort. The defense has been strong. Seth DeRazio's got 5 extra points, and he's going to let this one bounce. And even though his kickoffs have not been real strong, they've been hard to handle. That was a 45-yard punt return for Jason Cash.
We saw an excellent opening game last week. Uniontown, the 15-14 win over Laurel Highlands on a 25-yard field goal by Sean Ting. This week we see a pretty complete performance by Brownsville on both offense and defense, leading 42-0 with 51 seconds left in the third quarter. I think next week, the first week of section play for the high school teams in the WPIL, we're going to see a good game in Connellsville and Albert Gallen.
Let me tell you what, that should be a good one. Next Friday night, though, down here, Dave, a lot of people think maybe the Century Conference title could be on the line. Steel Valley, the preseason pick, comes to Republic, and Coach Bart and the Falcons will probably be sky high next Friday night.
In case, I want to remind the viewers, in case you haven't watched this yet, every Thursday night at 7:30, we preview the upcoming games for that following Friday. We review the last week's games. And then on Monday nights, before you settle in for your Monday night football, tune us in at 6 o'clock and watch the game of the week, which this week is Brownsville and North Catholic here at Redstone Field.
And this was a rarity because North Catholic from Allegheny County, so you were hoping the Fayette County team came out and played well. And I said I hope they win by 27.
Well, you more than covered that tonight, Joe.
I covered the spot. We are not prognosticators. Don't bet money on our picks.
Joe's winking at me as he says that for some reason.
Because I'm broke, and now they're going to fumble. No, Saverne's going to fumble the kick, and for North Catholic, it is just going downhill.
Even their choices are wrong. I think I would have rather took the kickoff. Where would they have got it, to 40?
35. I just can't wait till we go to Greene County and Carmichael's. I'm excited about that night.
They always treat you good in Greene County. Mapletown, Carmichael, Jefferson, Morgan. Joe's ribbing
Greene County people.
He thinks we're going to maybe run into some trouble because of something that was in the paper, but I've got a lot of positive feedback about Coach Dickie Krause, who was unfortunately had his job opened up by the Carmichael School Board. I don't know if you know Dickie personally, but a real good guy, and his teams are real respectful, and they always work hard and play hard.
So we'll be going to Carmichael because that's the night Geibel goes up there, and nothing doing there. Inside to the fullback, I believe that's Limmer.
Speaking of Geibel, tonight they have a chance to snap, I believe, a 25-game losing streak. Avonworth.
And there's an injured Falcon. Jesse Saxon makes the stop. There's a Falcon down. And it looks like number 60, and that would be Sam Petka, who I call Josh Petka, who was his brother. He was a starting offensive tackle 2 years ago when Brownsville went to Three River Stadium.
That game there, you mentioned that game at Three Rivers, I think even though the score wasn't close, I think it gave them, the experience of playing the Pittsburgh team in a big game.
Well, I'll tell you a little secret about that game. That game, Brownsville outgained West Allegheny by 200 yards offensively. Brownsville just could not get them stopped. I mean, and I'm going to tell you what, West Allegheny was the real deal that year. They were legitimately, I thought, the best team in AAA that year. But Brownsville had 551 yards total offense. I mean, and we were joking about it. The score was, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was 53-34 or 53-27. If Brownsville makes all their two-point conversions and North Catholic don't take an interception back, it's 38-32 of West Allegheny. It's 38-32 in Brownsville's in the game. That year, though, that was just a magical run because nobody expected anything from that group of kids, and it just snowballed. And they won in some tough places that year. They went to a tough Elwood City and won, beat a good North Catholic team that year down at Peters Township, and they earned that right. We come to the close of the third quarter, and it's all Brownsville as the Brownsville Falcons lead the North Catholic Trojans 43-zip.
Selecting an attorney can be difficult. Did you know that there are almost 1 million attorneys in the United States? Did you know that a national board measures their experience and expertise? And that fewer than 2,200 achieve certification? Did you know that only 30 attorneys in the country were certified in both civil and criminal law? Did you know that 2 of them live and work right here? Meet James and Samuel Davis, the hometown professionals at Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law.
So it looks like the Brownsville Falcons are going to move to 1-0 on the season, as they will start Century Conference play next Friday night with the Ironmen of Still Valley coming to town. I know North Catholic starts conference play, but I believe they are playing, if my mind don't escape me, I want to say tomorrow's playing it's next Friday up at North Catholic, so they will have to, Denny Finnegan's going to have to turn it around, or it could be in for a long season up at North Catholic.
Yeah, as you mentioned, next week they start to count.
They start to count. Good exhibition game tonight down in Bell Vernon, Borough and Bell Vernon area.
Bell Vernon with a big win over McGuffey.
Yeah,
last week.
The way that 36 points on McGuffey surprised me. So Heisel will come out now. It's second down and 10 to start the fourth quarter, and they give it inside. Get about 5 on the carry out to the 25. Stays on his feet to about the 26. Nasaka on the carry. Lee Miller makes the stop, and Coach Bart has got the second defense in. Nathan Biddle also makes the stop.
I think North Catholic's made some substitutions also here.
Yeah, no reason to get anybody injured now. You've played a lot of football. Your starters need to get out now and just take the rest of the night off. So a big third down at 7. Give it inside, and he does not get his first down.
So in 2 games so far this year, North Catholic's been outscored 83-8. Not looking good.
They're struggling offensively. Last week they gave up 40. Jesse Saxon and Anthony Baratti makes the stop. And please don't let me forget Anthony Baratti's name if he makes the stop, because I will not hear the end of it. I believe Baratti's going to go back, return the punt here. So Coach Bart with some of the younger kids in now, getting them some playing time.
This is, I think, good. You have a whole quarter to get guys some experience.
Sweeney will punt it. This has been the bright spot. This is going to go back. It's going to be fumbled, picked up. Look out here, bringing it back for Brownsville. Terrence Biddings, and Biddings will bring it back to the 45, to the 46-yard line. So Terrence Biddings on a return.
Quentin's brother?
I believe that is Quentin's cousin. Terrence didn't play last year. He played as a freshman on the freshman team. He didn't play last year. So Browns will start first down and 10 at their own 46, and there are some new names in there. Chris Zivkovich is going to come in to start quarterbacking. Chris is a junior. Chris is 6'4", 171, so he's got nice size. And man, we don't even get a play down, and Brownsville jumps.
So are we going to see the same type of situation maybe this year where Zivkovich, is that correct, gets a lot of playing time maybe if these games aren't close?
And would be probably the heir apparent next year if things would work out. They have a really good athlete as a sophomore, Danny Solomon, who was the 9th grade quarterback last year, that they like a lot. But Chris is a good ball player. Chris has got a lot of potential. Left-handed too, so that gives you a different look. And now we got another flag. If you know anything about auto racing, Chris Zivkovich is related to the Sheehan's from Brownsville who drag race. So Chris and his brother, he has a younger brother, Craig, and they're into drag racing.
We picked up our auto racing coverage at the Herald Standard.
Yeah, he may have. So I'm get my racing in, because when I have to go do the fair next year, and we have to do the dreaded
I heard that you were asking for that assignment.
Yeah. So Zivy will give it inside. Nice hole here. Out to the 40-yard line. Pick up a 5. Justin Samo on the carry.
Other action tonight, I think Carmichael's and Cornell get together. Mapletown, we already mentioned, and Fort Cherry, Mike Vernilla.
Jeff Morgan was down at Avella. Best Center was at Ford City, so that was a long hike. And you'll get a little bit of a look here because right now the Century Conference this week is crossed over with the Greater Allegheny Conference. Everybody coming, fullback dive, nothing doing there.
We got the Brownsville cheerleaders in front of us now, inciting the Brownsville crowd.
Jason Wilson on the carry. Doesn't take a lot to incite them to get them excited.
That's what I've heard, Joe.
I told you were in for a show. Fireworks.
Fireworks before the game, I was impressed.
I'm telling you, they really take care of things down here. And we couldn't, like I said, the weather was perfect, the fireworks were perfect, and the Falcons did not disappoint tonight.
They're leading 43-0 with 8:15 left in the game.
Zivvy's going to run the option. Fumble on a play. And North Catholic, and that's the first turnover tonight for Brownsville. They were trying to get it to Justin Samuel, I believe.
Just too far behind the running back that time.
And making the recovery for North Catholic was, I believe that was Sal Severon again. He still got some of his starters in there, so North Catholic still with a lot of the starters in the ball game. Ian Heisel's still in, and you wonder if and you know what? Here comes the Brownsville starting defense. So I guess Coach Bart's figuring is.
Wants the shutout?
I don't think that. I think it's one of them deals where, look at this. Okay, we got 6-man football going here. Brownsville's got like 8 guys out there. I think what's happened here is Coach Bart has went to the fact that I've got my second teamers and it's 43-0, and you got your starters in, and Coach Bart.
Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
That's Coach Bart just going to run the starters back out there and see if he can throw the shutout here.
Their defense has played well tonight, but I don't know about 6 people.
That'd have been tough. That'd have been really tough. So 7:37 left in the ball game. It's the Brownsville Falcons 43.
Little side note, I thought Eric told us he wasn't going to get too close to the sidelines tonight. He's right down there on the 30-yard line.
He almost got. Well, he got his boy down there. Intern Billy's right there, telling him not to get run over.
Standing the guard for him in case they run a sweep that way.
Intern Billy, who went to Grindstone tonight for the game, and that's an unbelievable. When he said he went to Grindstone, I almost thought maybe he wanted to go watch the Fraser Commodores. And there's a big night next Friday night for Fraser. They turn the lights on down at their field for the first time, and I believe the West Green Pioneers are coming out of far reaches of Greene County. Hazel will give it inside, and oh my goodness, Justin Spence and Brandon Smith, and
he's delivered a couple of punishing hits tonight on defense.
I believe he's still got the second unit in there.
I think it's we're going to have to start doing some heavy thinking about player of the game, Joe, as the clock winds down.
Well, it's a tough call, and being that he is in his first varsity start, we're going to give it to Craig Richachar.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. Jason Cass had the 2 interceptions and the touchdown on the punt return.
Now you're coming to Brownsville High School on Tuesday to face these guys because they'll be seeing me in the hallway and they'll be telling me, you know, how could you give it to Craig? And
I have confidence, Joe, that you'll handle it.
I will lie my behind off.
You're gonna say that it was all my idea then, I suspect.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, hey, I was forced. But I think he does tonight, being in a situation. He was starting his first game, and he had to produce, and he did. And he ran the offense to perfection. And, you know, Justin Spence with a big night. That's expected of him every week. Jason Cash, that's expected of him every week. And they'll have to keep doing it. Give it inside. Tough run up in there. Jason Wilson. And now we got a flag coming here. And now we got one of them situations where it's gotten out of hand a little bit.
Yeah, and right now you really, all this stuff's unnecessary. You don't want to see the flags flying or the extracurricular activity.
Well, we went back when the 2 teams come out on the field. North Catholic ran over and was going to smack Brownsville's sign, and you just need to leave sleeping dogs lie. You just do not need to get them any riled up than they need to be.
I think there's a time and a place for that, but I don't think tonight was the time or the place for that. I don't think you want to fire up this Brownsville team anymore, having not played the first game. I think they were ready to play to begin with.
They were chomping at the bit. So the butterflies have been alleviated.
Now, you think the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to go into Cleveland Stadium and run out and touch their banner before
They
the
may,
game
but
starts?
they still might get beat by 40.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about the Steelers' chances this week.
Slot to the left, flanker to the right. One back set. Zivvy's going to give it inside to Jason Wilson.
But Joe keeps throwing out numbers. I don't know if you've been paying attention at home, but he just wants to remind you that he does not bet on games.
I don't. I do not.
It'll be second down.
The over and under on this one was 44. I really thought North Catholic would give them a better test tonight. I really honestly did.
For most of the first half, I thought we were going to have a well-contested ball game, but the fumble on the punt return just seemed to tremendously turn this game around. If you want to, I think, point to one play,
There
that
was a turning point of the ball game. It was that one right there.
Maybe that could be another category, our Herald Standard turning point of the game, like the Pirates.
Samuel to the corner, and Justin Samuel's going to get about 3 or 4 on a 2nd and 10.
Just to remind you again that this game will be shown Monday night at 6 o'clock on HSTV before the debut of Monday Night Football. And I'm a little bit out of touch. I don't even know who's playing this
Dolphins,
Monday.
Broncos, Brian Greasy against his dad's old team.
Don't count the Dolphins out in that game. 2-time defending Super Bowl champions, but if you're looking for maybe what you want to say an upset, I think that's a good game
That could possibly be it. It started with babies, and it's going to end with a bang here as the Brownsville Falcons lead this one 43-0, 2:30. Chris Zivkovic got him out, got him set. Zivy with his first pass, got the screen set. Oh, pass is completed and caught. Making a catch for Brownsville was number 34, Justin Samuel.
It was a nice catch, by the way. The ball, the defender get there at the same time, and he still held on to it.
Jessup makes the stop for the Ironman. We're down to 2 minutes. And so the Brownsville Falcons will be 1-0. They'll look to open their conference play next week. North Catholic will try to go back to the drawing board.
More of the faithful starting to head for their cars here.
Time to go to dinner.
Where are you eating after the game, Joe?
My family goes to Hugo's every Friday night after the game. To be honest, this is just with my family, this is just a family thing. When I was in 6th grade and Eric Zakovic was roaming us, my brother used to get me out on Friday afternoons from school, and we have gone to every football game. We went to Edison, Ohio to watch them play, and it's just something we do. We know every Friday night we're going to watch them play football, and then we go out and eat after the game. And my brother and my sister-in-law is probably the biggest Brownsville fan we got. She just gets out of control.
Sounds like a good time.
It is, and it's just become a family thing. And
speaking of Eric, I think he's down on the sideline filling intern Billy's head full of his playing days. You can see Billy laughing down there, shaking his head.
So North Catholic will have it 1st down and 10. I believe we got a new quarterback for the Trojans. And it gives us inside, and look here, 1st down, close to it for North Catholic.
As Joe mentioned, number 4, Chris Carter in a quarterback now.
Number on the carry for North Catholic, number 48, Marty Nastaka. So the Herald Standard Television game of the week next week from York Run, Pennsylvania. It's the Albert Gallatin Colonials, Connellsville Falcons in the Quad South League.
So far, 2 games, what do you think? We had a real good first week, 15-14 Uniontown over LH. This week it's going to be Brownsville, 43-0 right now with 25 seconds and a clock moving.
This was a shocker. I will not lie to you. This was a shocker.
Now, Joe doesn't mean a shocker. I think he expected Brownsville to win, but not by the 43 points.
The stock on a carry, and he's going to be wrapped up. And I tell you what, give Brownsville second group of defense here a lot of credit. They played well.
So the question, are we rebuilding or are we reloading? They may have answered that tonight.
I tell you what, if they're not reloading, I tell you what, you'll probably get a better look next week. Good job. You'll probably get a better look next week if they're rebuilding or reloading. But I'm going to tell you what, they may be the best kept secret in the Century Conference right now, because I did not expect them to throw up 43 on the North Catholic Trojans tonight, and they were very impressive.
Well, you know, honestly, Joe, I think you know it and I know it, and probably most coaches know it, that they weren't taking Brownsville lightly. You know, there may have been some people that saw the kids graduate and thought, well, maybe they're rebuilding, but I think people that have been around the program and know Bart they know that they're going to be a team to be reckoned with any time that he's involved.
So that'll wrap it up from here. We'll be coming back with the post-game show. Final score from Redstone Field in Republic, Pennsylvania. The Brownsville Falcons opened the 1999 high school football season by routing the North Catholic Trojans 43-0. And we welcome you back to Redstone Field here in Republic, where the Brownsville Falcons have opened the 1999 high school football season by defeating the North Catholic Trojans to the tune of 43-0. Dave, they started fast and they ended strong.
First drive of the game, 11 plays, 76 yards, capped by a 4-yard touchdown run by Craig Richachar. Went into a little bit of funk then, but right before the end of the first half, we talked about it up in the booth, a pivotal play. The fumble punt on a punt return by North Catholic. Brownsville, 2 quick touchdowns in the final, I think, in a minute actually, but it was with 2:36 left in the first half. That let the floodgates open.
One of the keys coming in we talked about was Craig Richachar getting off to a good start. Struggled a little bit, but some big key passes for the young man.
I think overall grading tonight, he did fairly well. Running the ball, running the option, running the offense, throwing the ball. We talked about he had some experience last year, even though he wasn't the starter, but he came right down on that first drive and was perfect on his passing and scored on a touchdown. So I think Bart's really pleased with what